Let's start chapter 10, Water and its Forms. In this chapter, we will learn about water changes into ice, ice changes into water, water changes into steam, water vapor changes into water, and water cycle. Now let's come to warm up exercise. Here in this some pictures are given and we have to tick the boxes for the activities where water is being used. Water is used for bathing. Water is not required for eating. Water is required for washing clothes. Water is not required for sleeping. We all human beings need water. Without water, we cannot survive. Do you know that water has three forms? Water is the liquid form of water. Ice is the solid form of water. Water vapor or steam is the gaseous form of water. So, water can change from one form to another. So, children, do you know what are these forms? These are solid, liquid and gas. Now look here. Water changes into ice. When we fill an ice tray with water and keep it in fridge or refrigerator, in the freezer compartment, what we observe? That the water changes into ice. So can you hold this ice cube? Yes, we can hold this ice cube because it is in solid form. Ice is the solid form of water. And the process of water changing to ice is called freezing of water. Now come to ice changes into water. If we put some ice cubes in a plate for some time, what you observe? That the ice melts and changes into water. This changing of ice into water is called melting of water. Can we hold the water? No, we cannot hold the water because water is in a liquid form and it flows through the openings between our fingers. Now come to water changes into steam. Now put some water in a kettle and ask your adult to put the kettle on fire. What you observe? Then that the water starts boiling and you see some steam that is coming out from the kettle. So when water is heated, it turns into steam. We call it a water vapor. This process of water changing into vapor is called evaporation of water. Now look, water vapor changes into water. Now ask your adult to hold a steel plate in front of the spout of the kettle from where the steam is coming out. What you will observe? You will see tiny drops of water on the steel plate. This happens because hot steams cool down on touching the cold plate and changes into drops of water. What this process is called? This process of water vapor changing to water drops is called condensation of water. Now come to water cycle. Water cycle is the journey of water from the earth to sky and back to the earth. Now the sun heats the water in water bodies on the earth. Some of this water changes into water vapor and rises high up in the sky. Then it cools down to form clouds. And from this cloud, these droplets fall down in the form of rain and snow. Rainwater fills up water bodies on the earth and in this way the water cycle goes on. Now this is the water cycle in nature. Now come to summary. As we all know that water has three forms: solid, liquid and gas. Water can change from one form to another. Water is always moving from lakes, rivers and seas to the sky and back. This is called water cycle. Now come to exercise. Oral questions. How are air and water similar? Air and water both are the combination of several gases. How much of the earth is covered with water? About 70%. Name an instrument to measure rainfall. It is rain gauge. Now come to B. In this, tick the correct option. Water kept in the refrigerator changes into ice. The solid form of water is ice. When cooled, steam changes into water. Now come to C. In this, the water cycle is jumbled up. We have to put them in correct order. So, what will be the correct order? The sun heats up the water in the lakes, rivers and seas. Then the drops of water join to form clouds. Clouds become heavy and it rains. Water vapor cools to form drops of water. The water vapor goes up high in the sky. So in this way you can correct it in proper order. Now come to D. In this we have to complete the sentence with the help of words given below. Ice changes into water when kept out of the fridge. When water is heated, it turns into steam. The sun heats up the water on the earth during daytime. Rain comes from clouds.